So first thing we want to do here is we're going to start at number 1. Okay, I like to put my line in. Okay, so before we start number 1, I kind of gave you some steps that you want to follow when you're doing solving equation problems. Some of these steps that are not going to have you, they only work for certain problems, put it that way. Okay, for example, step 1, 2, and 3, even though I want you to go through them, they only work if the problem needs it. Step 4, you got to do for all of them. Okay, so let's talk about these first 2 steps. The first step is distributive property, and then the second step is combine like terms. These 2 steps here, that's why they're sectioned off. You want to do the both sides of the equal sign. So for example, if we do number 1, we want to check on the left side first. So over here, and I want to see if I have any parentheses. If I have any parentheses, we want to do the distributive property. So if you look on the left side, there's absolutely no parentheses, so I do not have to do step 1 for the left side of the equal sign. Then we go to step 2 for the left side of the equal sign. Do I have any like terms I have to combine? If you look, since we only have 0, there is no like terms over here on the left. So 1 and 2 for the left side of the equal sign, we're done. But now we're going to do 1 and 2 again for the right side of the equal sign and kind of ask the same questions. On the right side of the equal sign, do I have the distributive property? So in other words, do I have parentheses? And the answer is no. So then go into step 2. Do I have combining like terms? So if you look on the right side, you actually have like terms. And what like terms are is when you have the same variable. So if you look, x and x. And again, it has to be on one side of the equal sign, not on opposite sides. So we have the same variables here, which means they are like terms, which means I have to combine them. When we say combine, we're going to add or subtract them depending on the sign. For example, in our problem number 1, we have positive 2x here, and we have positive 2x here. They are like terms because they both have the same letter. And all we got to do is the math for positive 2 and positive 2. So positive 2 and positive 2 is positive 4. And then we bring down the x. Okay? So in essence, we have combined like terms here. So we did step 2 for the right side. Okay? We are now done with step 1 and 2 for both sides of the equal sign. Now we jump to step 3. Step 3 is only used if you have variables on both sides of the equal sign. If you notice, we only have a variable on the right side. So step 3, we do not have to do here. So we can skip step 3 in problem number 1. So now we go on to step 4, which is isolate the variable. And this is basically what we've been doing the last 2 weeks. So our goal is to get the x by itself, which means we have to get rid of the 4. And to get rid of the 4, we have to ask ourselves, what's the 4 doing? We know it's multiplying. So the opposite of multiplication is going to be division, and we do that to both sides. What you do to one side, do to the other. 0 divided by 4 is 0 equals, the 4's on the right canceled out, and we're left with x. So 0 equals x. Okay, and we're done with number 1. We're going to do the same process for the rest of these, so just follow along here. Remember, you're going to add these to your assignment, so hopefully you're copying these down. All right, number 2. We're going to start with step 1 on the left side. Let's focus on the left side. Do I have any properties or parentheses? And the answer is no. So step 1 I do not have to do on the left side. Go to step 2 on the left side. Do I have combined like terms? And the answer is no. So the left side stays -1. There's nothing to do on the left side. Now on the right side, do I have parentheses? Nope. Now I check for combined like terms, and the answer is yes. I do actually have like terms. Okay. Over here, the like terms were the x's. They had the same variable. Over here, like terms are the numbers without the variable. So we have -3 and +1. So these are like terms. So we want to combine positive 1 and negative 3. Okay? So the way I like to add and subtract these is ask myself, these are different signs, so that means they're going to go to war with each other. So who's going to win? Are the negatives going to win or the positives? And the answer is the negatives are going to win because there's more negatives. All we have to put now is how many more negatives do we have? So if you look, we have positive 1, negative 3. That means we're going to have 2 more negatives than positives. So my answer with combining positive 1 and negative 3 is negative 2. And I get to bring down the P. Okay, so we just combine like terms on the right side. We are done with step 1 and 2 for both sides. Now we go to step 3. Do I have variables on both sides? The answer is no, so I do not have to do step 3. Step 4 is isolate the variable, get it by itself. So I want to get P by itself, which means the 2 has to go away. How do I get rid of subtraction of 2? We add 2. What you do to one side, do to the other. And here we go again. Who's going to win, the negatives or positives? Okay, so the positives are going to win by 1. And bring down the P. So 1 equals P. Cool. And then again, guys, this is the same process over and over again. And once you get comfortable with it, you should be able to just solve any type of equation, okay, using these 4 steps. All right. Left side, start the left side. Do I have distributive property? No parentheses. We're good with that. Do I have CLT on the left side? And the answer is yes. I got 2 M's. So this is really positive 1M and positive 1M. So when I combine these, positive 1 and positive 1, they are from the same team. So since they're on the same team, sorry guys. Since they're on the same team, we combine them together so they make a bigger team. So we're going to have positive 1 and positive 1 makes positive 2. Bring down the M equals, and then we do the same thing for the right side. Do I have any parentheses on the right side? No. Is there any combining like terms on the right side? No. So we bring down negative 2. Okay? Now check here. Do I have variables on both sides? And the answer is no. So I don't have to do step 3. Step 4, we want to isolate the variable. So I want to get M by itself, which means the 2 has to go away. And we know the 2 is multiplying. The opposite of multiplication is division. So we're going to divide by 2 to both sides. These 2 cancels, and we're left with M equal to negative 2 divided by positive 2, that's negative 1. Okay? All right, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to give you about 2 minutes. I want you guys to work on number 4, and then I'm going to call on 2 people to give me the answer for number 4. Okay, so you have 2 minutes. Go ahead and go.
Hello?
What's up?
Where do we add this to?
You're adding this to today's assignment. The one that's due today. All right. Okay, so that's the answer to number 4. Let's move on to the next section. Okay, last 4 problems here. We're going to use the same exact steps. Okay. So I'll let you kind of copy that problem number 5 down real quick. And then we'll get it going. All right. So on number 5, same exact step. So we start on the left side. Do we have parentheses to distribute? And the answer is yes. We have these parentheses, so we want to distribute. And what I mean by distribute, the only thing we're going to distribute is if you have a number multiplying with it. So if you look, this 3 is multiplying with the parentheses. Okay? So that means we have to distribute the 3 in or multiply the 3 into everything in parentheses. So the 3 gets multiplied with the 4. That gives me 12. And then the 3 gets multiplied with the 3x. That gives me positive 9x. Equal to, and then 48. So we're still on the left side. We did the step 1. Now we got to check, do we have CLT on the left side? And the answer is no. The left side is ready to roll. On the right side, do we have distributive property? Nope. Do we have CLT? Nope. So the right side's ready to go. Step 3, do I have variables on both sides? No, so I don't have to do step 3. Step 4, we want to isolate the x. So that means we have to get rid of the 12 and the 9. So we have to do it in a specific order. And you always want to get rid of anything that is adding or subtracting first. So we know the 9 is multiplying with x. And now we know that the 12 is actually adding to. So to get rid of addition, because that's what we want to get rid of first, we use subtraction. So we're going to subtract 12 to both sides. 12s cancel out. We're left with 9 times x equals to 36. And now to get rid of the 9, we do the opposite of multiplication, which is division. What you do to one side, do to the other, and x equals 4. All right, let's jump over to number 6. Okay, number 6, start on the left side. Do I have distributive property? And the answer is yes. This 4 is multiplying with everything inside the parentheses. So put a little multiplication mark there, and we're going to multiply in. 4 times 2r, that is positive 8r. 4 times negative 4, that gives me negative 16. Okay, still on the left side, we did distributive property. Now we're going to do CLT. Can I combine like terms here? And the answer is no. So the left side is done. Check the right side. Do I have parentheses? Nope. Do I have combined like terms? No. So I could just bring down the negative 48. Now we move on to step 3. Do I have variables on both sides? And the answer is no. Step 3 is done. Step 4, we want to isolate the r, which means the 16 and the 8 have to go away. So we have to do this in a specific order. We know the 8 is multiplying and the 16 is subtracting. So we have to do addition subtraction first. So we want to do add 16 to both sides. The 16s on the left side cancel out. Bring down the 8 times r. Do this math. We have negative 48, positive 16. The negatives are going to win. And they're going to win by 32. Okay, so now I want to get rid of the 8 to isolate the r. So 8 is multiplying. The opposite of multiplication is division. What you do to one side, you do to the other. And we have r equals to negative 4. All right. Okay, guys, so this is what I want you to do. I'm going to call on 2 people to do number 7, and I'm going to call on 2 people to do number 8. So go ahead and do that. I'm going to give you about 5 to 6 minutes. So that's about what? 3 minutes per problem, 2.5 minutes per problem. And then be prepared to share your answer. Okay? We're going to go a little faster through these. Hopefully you're getting the hang of it. So on the left side, no distributive property, no CLT. We're done with the left side. It's negative 60. On the right side, we do have distributive property. So let's go ahead and distribute. That's going to give me 16n, or 16 times n. And then this is going to give me negative 12. There's also no combined like terms here, so now we want to make sure there's no variables on both sides, which is none. So now we got to isolate the end. So we got to get rid of the 16 and the 12. So the one we want to get rid of first is the 12 because it's subtracting, and we always want to get rid of addition subtraction first. So we're going to add 12 to both sides. The 12s cancel out. On the left side, the negatives are going to win, and they're going to win by 48. And we got 16n on the right side. Now to get rid of 16, we're going to divide both sides by 16. Negative 48 divided by positive 16, that gives me a negative answer, which is going to be negative 3. And the 16s on the right cancel out, so our answer for number 7 is negative 3n. Cool. All right, and then the last problem here, number 8. What we have to understand about number 8 is this negative here. I'm going to change it because I want you to understand what it really means. This negative sign is really a negative 1. So I like to put negative 1 like that. So we're really going to multiply in a negative 1 on the left side. We're distributing. So that's negative 1 times negative 2. That's positive 2b. Negative 1 times negative 3 is positive 3, equal to 11. Okay? So no like terms here, no like terms or distributive property here. Variables only on one side, so we go to step 4. I need to get rid of the 3 and the 2. So we want to get rid of the 3 first because it's adding, and we want to do addition subtraction first. So we're going to subtract 3 to both sides. We're left with 2 times b equals 8. And now we have to get rid of the 2. Since it's multiplying, we divide by 2 to both sides. This cancels, and we're left with b equal to 4. Okay? So like I mentioned before, you're going to add these to today's assignment. So you should be uploading 16 problems today. These 8 and then the 8 from the practice packet. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna give you the check-in code. Remember, the check-in is now worth some points, so make sure you check in before you leave Zoom. I'm gonna stay on here if you need extra help with anything. Please ask at this time, and then other than that, if you're good, you are dismissed. Okay, so here's the check-in code. Once you check in, you are dismissed for today. Get your calendar stuff done.